हेलो एवरीवन। आज हम पढ़ेंगे किंगडम फंजाई के बारे में। किंगडम फंजाई constitute a unique kingdom of heterotrophic organisms. They show a great diversity in morphology and habitat. Fungi heterotrophic organisms हैं। Heterotrophic organisms are those organisms who cannot prepare its own food. They show a great diversity in morphology. Morphology means they are present in various shape, size, and structure. And habitat means they are found in various places, like in aquatic region, in moist and damp places, on stones, on rocks, etc. etc. Most fungi are heterotrophic and absorb the soluble organic matter from the dead substrates and hence are called saprophytes. Fungus are heterotrophic. Fungus absorb soluble organic matter from the dead organisms and hence they are called the saprophytes. Fungi में mainly तीन तरह से reproduction होते हैं. First is the vegetative reproduction, next is the asexual reproduction, and third is the sexual reproduction. Vegetative reproduction consists of fragmentation, budding and fission. Fission के most common example है yeast. Asexual reproduction is by spores called conidia, sporangiospores or zoospores. Sexual reproductions is by oospores, ascospores and basidiospores. Kingdom fungi are classified into few classes. First is the Phycomycetes. Next is the Ascomycetes. Third is the Basidiomycetes. And fourth is the Deuteromycetes. इस स्लाइड में हम Phycomycetes के बारे में पढ़ेंगे. Members of Phycomycetes are found in the aquatic habitat and on the decaying wood in moist and damp places or as obligate parasites on plants. Phycomycetes के members mainly aquatic habitats या फिर decaying wood in moist and damp places या फिर as obligate parasites पाए जाते हैं. Obligate parasites क्या है? Obligate parasites are those organisms who totally or completely depend on host for their survival as well as reproduction. The mycelium is aseptate and sinusotic. Mycelium of Phycomycetes is aseptate. Aseptate means उनके हाइफी में कुछ फ्रेगमेंटेशंस या सेप्टा प्रेजेंट नहीं होते हैं. Asexual reproduction takes place by zoospores and aplanospores. Zoospores are the motile spores and aplanospores are the non-motile spores. Some common examples are Mucorrhizopus. Mucorrhizopus is also known as the bread mold. And the next example is albugo, which is the parasitic fungi on plant mustard. Next हम देखेंगे class Ascomycetes, commonly known as the Sac Fungi. The Ascomycetes are mostly multicellular. Example Penicillium. Rarely they are unicellular. Example yeast or Saccharomyces. They are saprophytic, decomposers, parasitic or coprophilous. Coprophilous means they grow on cow dung. Their mycelium is branched and septate. Septate means their hyphae contains certain partitions made. These are called septa. Next, moving on to Basidiomycetes. Commonly known forms of Basidiomycetes are mushrooms, bracket fungi or puffballs. They grow in soil, on logs and tree stumps and in living plant bodies as parasites, example rusts and smuts. Mycelium of Basidiomycetes are branched and septate. Some common examples are agaricus, the mushroom, ustilago, smut, and puccinia, rust fungus. Next class is Deuteromycetes. These are commonly known as imperfect fungi because only the asexual or vegetative phase of these fungi are known. When the sexual forms of these fungi were discovered, they were moved into the classes they rightly belong to. Deuteromycetes imperfect fungi होते हैं because at current stage उनके asexual and vegetative phase of reproduction he discovered him. When sexual forms of reproduction of these fungi जब discover होंगे, then we will move them into the classes and the right classes where they belongs. Some members are saprophytes or parasites, while the large number of them are decomposers of litter and help them in mineral cycling. Some examples of Deuteromycetes are Alternaria, Coletotrichum, and Trichoderma. Next topic है lichens. Lichens are symbiotic association, that is mutual useful association between algae and fungi. Lichens, algae and fungi के symbiotic associations हैं, means दोनों organisms एक दूसरे के लिए mutually useful हैं. The algal component is known as the phycobiont and the fungal component is known as the mycobiont, which are autotrophic and heterotrophic respectively. Algal component phycobiont है और वो autotrophic है. Fungal component mycobiont कहते हैं उसको और वो heterotrophic है. Algae prepare the food for fungi and fungi provide the shelter, absorb mineral nutrients and water for its partner. Algae जो autotrophic है वो prepares the food for the fungus and the fungus जो heterotrophic है वो prepares the shelter, absorbs the mineral nutrients and water for its partner algae. Lichens are very good pollution indicators as they do not grow in the polluted areas. Lichens pollution के best indicators हैं because जहाँ पर pollution होगा वहाँ पर lichens grow नहीं करते हैं. Next, moving on to the kingdom Plantae. Kingdom Plantae includes all eukaryotic chlorophyll containing organisms commonly called plants. Few members are partially heterotrophic such as insectivorous plants or parasites. Kingdom Plantae में mainly eukaryotic and chlorophyll containing organisms ही होते हैं. उनमें कुछ members partially heterotrophic होते हैं जैसे insectivorous plants and parasites. Plant cells have a eukaryotic structure with a prominent chloroplast and cell wall mainly made up of cellulose. Plant cells में prominent chloroplast पाए जाते हैं और उनके जो cell walls हैं वो mainly cellulose से बने होते हैं. Plantae includes algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms. Next, हम देखेंगे kingdom Animalia. This kingdom is characterized by heterotrophic eukaryotic organisms that are multicellular and their cells lack cell walls. They directly or indirectly depend on plants for food. Kingdom Animalia के mainly heterotrophic and eukaryotic organisms होते हैं. वो ज़्यादातर मल्टीसेलुलर होते हैं बट उनके सेल्स में सेल वॉल नहीं होता है. दे डायरेक्टली और इनडायरेक्टली प्लांट्स के ऊपर अपने फूड के लिए डिपेंडेंट होते हैं. दे डाइजेस्ट देयर फूड in an internal cavity and stores the food reserves as glycogen or fat. Animalia stores the food as glycogen or fat. Most of them are capable of locomotion. लगभग सारे एनिमल्स लोकोमोशंस के लिए कैपेबल होते हैं. नेक्स्ट हम देखेंगे वायरस एंड वायरॉइड्स के बारे में. वायरस did not find a place in classification since they are not considered truly living. वायरस को हम क्लासिफिकेशन में प्लेस नहीं करते हैं क्योंकि वो ट्रूली लिविंग में कंसिडर नहीं किया जाता. Viruses are non-cellular organisms that are characterized by having an inert crystalline structure outside the living cells. वायरस एक नॉन सेलुलर ऑर्गेनिजम्स हैं. उसका कैरेक्टरिस्टिक क्या है? दे हैव अ इनर्ट क्रिस्टलाइन स्ट्रक्चर्स आउटसाइड द लिविंग सेल्स. वायरस मीन्स venom or poisonous fluid. Dmitry Ivanovsky recognized certain microbes as casual organisms of mosaic disease of Tobago. वायरस मतलब होता है वेनम या फिर पॉइजनस फ्लूइड. 1892 में डिमिट्री इवानोव्स्की ने कुछ माइक्रोब्स को डिस्कवर किया जो टोबैको में मोज़ेक डिजीज कॉज कर रहे थे. These were found to be smaller than bacteria. वो organisms बैक्टीरिया से छोटे थे because they pass through the bacteria proof filters. क्योंकि वो बैक्टीरिया प्रूफ फिल्टर्स से पास कर रहे थे. नेक्स्ट है वायरॉइड्स. In 1971, T.O. Diner discovered a new infectious agent that was smaller than viruses and caused the potato spindle tuber disease. 1971 में टी.ओ. डाइनर ने एक नया इन्फेक्शियस एजेंट का डिस्कवर किया. वो इन्फेक्शियस एजेंट्स वायरस से छोटे थे. वो एजेंट्स पोटैटो स्पिंडल ट्यूबर डिजीज कॉज कर रहे थे. It was found to be a free RNA. It lacked the protein coat that is found in the viruses. वायरस मेनली एक जेनेटिक मटेरियल और प्रोटीन कोट से बना हुआ होता है, बट ये एजेंट्स में सिर्फ फ्री आरएनए प्रेजेंट था. इसमें प्रोटीन कोट एब्सेंट था. Hence it was named as viroids. The RNA of the viroids was of the low molecular weight. आज के लिए बस इतना ही. थैंक यू.